There are many locations to photograph coastal birds in British Columbia. I found one in this video many years ago when I first moved to Vancouver from England. That was over 10 years ago, so much has changed since then. At the time I had a Grand Cherokee, a cheap vehicle that I made into a great Overlander. Many years later, I'm traveling in my 4x4 Expedition RV, seeing incredible places and capturing incredible moments. A lot of difficulties to get here, but a lot of gratitude nonetheless. This place is in Tsawwassen, near the ferry ramp to Vancouver Island. It is on an Indian land, and some areas are closed to the public right now. Tsawwassen means land facing the sea, which is appropriate, I would say. I left Chilliwack on a great sunny day, but I was greeted by Tsawwassen beach with a lot of thick fog and some rain. It lasted until the last day I stayed here. Fog is an interesting thing to photograph because it gives you some very cool shots, so I was not upset by it, I just went with it. At this location there are a lot of different species of coastal birds and of course eagles and herons. I wish I could tell you that this is a peaceful and pacific place, and it is for maybe a few minutes every hour. The beach in fact is located right next to the road that goes to the ferry, and it is often very busy with a lot of cars and trucks speeding by. It is also not the cleanest place, with some garbage inevitably washing into the ocean with the tides. During winter there aren't many people, occasional cars come and go, but I was on my own most of the time, especially in the early mornings and later at night. Overnight parking and camping are forbidden, so I had to move in and out of the beach every day. Hotel Walmart helped with that. It is cold here. After walking for an hour and being out in the wind, your body really feels stuck. Every time I got back to the RV, I had trouble even just opening the door, because my hands were frozen even with the gloves on. But as it often happens with wildlife and field photography, spending time outside and being patient is worth it. If you spend enough time out there and don't do anything too clumsy, the birds start trusting you, and they give you the benefit of the doubt by coming closer and closer with less fear. Innocent until proven guilty, one might say. So I managed to get some decent shots for these birds, doing their funny, at least to us, things. I hope you enjoy these images enough to like the video, share it and subscribe to the channel so I can make more of them and bring you along on more adventures. At night the lights of the ferry looked like a sci-fi movie, and the cranes of the port looked very futuristic. I knew it would be a clear day because it was the first time I could actually see these things instead of a foggy mess. So I grabbed some footage at night or early morning and then waited for more light to come up while sipping a good coffee. On the west side of the beach there are a bunch of houses and a big complex that looks like an hotel. If you look carefully, you can spot a lot of herons on the roof, each taking one peek and standing there as soldiers defending the fort. Of course, they fly around and go to the beach to fish. There are so many of them because there is an actual heron colony there. Not quite as active in winter, but incredible to witness in spring. It is the largest on the west coast of Canada, so expect a video on that in a couple of months. Occasionally, there are also some eagles nesting in the trees, and sometimes they come closer to the beach to see if they can grab, literally, something to eat. During winter, it's not hard to see a bunch of them every day. As my last day at the beach went by, I enjoyed the bit of sun pacing through the clouds. I went for a long walk along the road, stopping here and there to capture footage. At some point, a few oyster catchers landed not far from me, and I patiently waited and slowly got closer, capturing some really cool shots. As I walked back to the RV, the sun started coming down, and when I got there, I was blessed with a nice sunset that made my drive back to Chilliwack much warmer.